Hello my friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome to Grace in My Space. Today is part 2 of our 3-part series on decorating your home for Christmas in the kitchen and in the dining room. And today we are going to focus on how to create a beautiful tablescape for hosting. Now first things first, to set a beautiful tablescape, you have to know what you have. So I like to kind of set up a staging area on the island first. I get out all of my serving platters. I get out any fancy glasses that I might want to use. I get out the plates, the salad plates, if I'm using bowls, if I'm using coffee mugs, glasses, whatever you need for the type of food that you're serving. I put it all out so I can just see what I have, and it helps make sure that the color palettes that I'm choosing between perhaps a lot of mismatched dishes works together really well. So for this specific look, I wanted it to be really cozy. So we have a lot of gold rimming on the bowls and some of the serving platters and the plates, and then the decor will have some gold. And then I chose to incorporate this really deep, rich wood tone, which I don't normally do with golds, but I thought it would be really beautiful to ground the space because I have so much white and I have a lot of marble and just the light and airy things. And then I chose to bring in these black plates as a foundation for these salad plates, which will pop really nicely. So once you kind of have everything that you need in one spot, so you know you're not forgetting anything, it's time to dress the table. So I have an idea. This is, of course, completely over the top, 100% unnecessary, but I'm feeling a little extra today. So, of course, not everybody has this option because most people have hardwired dining room pendants or chandeliers, but I don't. So, why not take advantage of my misfortune that there's no electrical lighting in our ceiling? So I have an entire blog post about how I have hung this using an adapter plugged into our canned light system because we have no wired lighting in our ceiling. So now what I think I'm gonna try and do, I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna try it. Here, I think the lighting's a bit better now. That was super dark. Sorry about that. So I'm going to start with some wire, and I'm going to try to connect. They have these little holes at the top where you would hang them from normally. Try and connect them so that they don't just slide down somehow. And the plan is to make them tip to tip. Each time it's like, when's it gonna fall? And these stars are very lightweight, so I'm not concerned about them. They're actually lighter than my pendant was. So I'm not concerned about that part of it, at least. I'm gonna put some hot glue on the tips. See if that's enough to kind of like space it. I don't know why I do these things to myself. Don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. See where I'm going with this? Definitely gonna have to get a prettier light bulb since it's very exposed. Not quite as hidden as I thought it was going to be. Ah, it broke! Dang it. How could I keep that in place while it dries better? Maybe I just shouldn't have moved it yet. Hot! It's hot. Hot, hot, hot. I'm not going to have any fingerprints in my thumb now. Lord, please don't let this break. All right, when I was in the store imagining this, I did not imagine this much space underneath. So thankfully I bought these. I think I'm gonna like dangle them down and help mask the bulb a little bit better. Even though I switched the bulb to be a pretty one, it's not like super pretty. So we're gonna try adding. My projects are always way more complicated than they are in my mind. So I'm gonna go for a variety of heights. See how this goes. I should have done this before I glued these things together. You could also use fishing line for this because my wire is gonna be visible, but fishing line is awful to work with. The knots just, I don't know, you probably have to be like a fisherman to know how to make knots stick to it, but they just fall out every time, so I'm going with wire this time. It worked! That took entirely too long, but it's really pretty! Now let's dress the table. We're gonna start with this gauzy, really pretty tablecloth. Don't you dare break! Now look, it's wrinkled and I know it, but it's gonna get fixed later. After I've covered up the majority of the wrinkles, I'll then steam out the rest of them that are showing. Work smarter, not harder. All right, we're gonna start with our centerpiece. I've had these burning because I wanted the wax to be all melty for my photos. Just did what I was about to say that I hoped I didn't do and spilled the wax everywhere. Now, since we have created this, I wanted this to be simple, but still interesting. So I got these really pretty florals. Now, normally I would take a long stem like this and like bend it around whatever I'm putting it in so that if I ever want to use it in a vase, I can. But I don't really see myself ever using this as a vase flower. So I'm just gonna chop those off with some tin snips. Let's set the table next and then see where we need to go. All right, now I've made some progress. I will show you, but I have these candle wreaths that I'm actually gonna chop up because I like the little pine cones and I think they'd be pretty down the center of the table as opposed to being an actual candle ring. We've gone from candle ring to pine cone branch. And we're just gonna tuck. And I'm just cutting it where it's naturally already bound. So then you have your end is secure so it won't unravel. Now we have a couple of options for napkins. These are just very simple linen napkins. We can put them underneath the silverware. We could put them on here. We could put them on the plate and then we could put the silverware on top. Or I'm gonna try this. I don't know if I have the right length napkins, but I'm gonna try a bit of a knot. I'm gonna grab it by a corner and we're just gonna tie it in a knot and see how that looks. So pretty. If I had a napkin ring, that would be really pretty, but I'm not fancy enough to have napkin rings. So we're gonna try again, try and make our own napkin rings with a knot. You know, my first job was a hostess in a restaurant, so I could do like a taco fold, you know, where all the silverware are inside of it, but tie a simple knot, apparently that's really hard. Maybe it just needs some fluffing. Usually if things are looking bad, they just need to be fluffed. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed seeing the table come together. Maybe you'll attempt your own star chandelier. It's a thing, right? We're gonna make this a thing. Let me know if you do. I would love to see it. If you missed the first video in this series, make sure and head over and check out how I decorated my kitchen for Christmas. And then now that you've seen how the table is set, you can get ready to host your own party. So stay tuned for the next upcoming video in this series where I talk about actually the hosting experience and what to serve. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.